you hear me now, Brad?
I can hear you. I've always been
Awesome.
able to. Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Okay, okay. All right, cool,
All
cool.
right. So we're here with Mr. Brad Furman, director of City of Lies. How are you doing today, Brad?
I'm great. No complaints.
All right. So tell us about this movie. All right. I'm so excited. I actually watched the movie this morning and I was absolutely impressed. So I just want you to tell the Guyanese public about City of Lies.
It's been a real honor to make the movie with Miss Wallace and Wayne Barrow, Biggie's former manager. And I grew up a real fan. That little mix you just played there was pretty dope to start the day.
Yes, yes.
I know, right? Get the blood pumping.
I know.
Um, No, I've been a huge fan of Biggie, and this movie really was about humanizing him as Christopher and removing the iconography of the success and getting us all to understand that if something this tragic could happen to this young black man who was this famous, in this instance at the hands of the Los Angeles Police Department with the corruption and everything, then it could really happen to anyone. And it's a story of mother and sons, which is why, I wouldn't make it without the blessing of Miss Wallace. And, we worked very hard to pull back the curtain, so to speak.
All right. Well, first of all, I want you to tell the Guyanese public who are the stars of this movie.
Okay, that's an important piece of information. Johnny Depp plays Russell Poole. Russell Poole is the lead investigator in the Wallace murder. And Forrest Whitaker plays Jack Jackson, the journalist who's sort of stalking Russ Poole, so to speak. And they go on a journey together. There's also, tons of other great sort of tidbits of wonderful people in the movie as well. It's a long list. I'm very
Yes.
honored to have them all in it.
All right. So, what was it like working with Johnny Depp? I mean, when I think of him, I automatically think of Pirates of the Caribbean. I know he did scores and scores of movies, but I think that that's one that really stood out globally. Pirates of the Caribbean, like we just can't forget him. Captain Jack Sparrow. So,
Yeah,
what was
yeah.
it like working with him? And and, and,
Johnny is
and he is
he's
he's so handsome. Oh my gosh, I had to stick that in.
he's so grounded. He's so real. He is super committed to art and the art of the process, the organic nature of the process. I wanted to find a way into this character, into this role that was very authentic and real. I felt the movie really needed to be authentic, honest, and real, and in a way hard hitting because it's a level of like, hard hitting journalism, so to speak. And as a result, Johnny really carried that torch, and he was super humble. I mean, you think with a man with this success,
Mm-hmm.
and stardom and all these things, because he's really surpassed being a movie star. He's this massive icon. You couldn't imagine how humble and great and amazing he is. He's really just a great, wonderful human being, and Forrest as well. Both very different in their approaches in acting, different in their demeanors. Both have quiet sides to them, actually. Forrest a little more at times, but both just very affable and fun. They're great. Truly, That's not just something I'm saying. That's really genuine.
Awesome. Well, I really think that you couldn't pick better people to play these roles, all right, as in the policeman and the journalist, because, Forrest he was very he was like mellow. He had a really mellow style to him, and Johnny had this really edgy kind of style to him. So I really thought that that was super cool, all right. And, I mean, bringing two A-list stars together, that's a big thing.
Yeah, well, so I mean, due to the messaging, which is really what I lead with in speaking about the movie and the significance of it, myself and really these guys, these two A-list stars, they're just these vessels used to carry and Trojan horse the messaging in the movie. The way to get it out into the world, I wouldn't have the opportunity, I'm sure, to speak to the world today and throughout this journey if it wasn't for these two, men carrying the torch again, so to speak. So as a result of that, it was a very conscious choice. But yes, from an acting and heavy hitter perspective, these guys are heavyweight actors as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're really talented. So you get double the bang for your buck. They didn't become stars by accident. They're deeply talented. They're really sophisticated in how they approach their craft, and globally, they're huge. So it does help for how to get the messaging in this movie out into the world. And I was obviously very honored to step in the ring with them.
Awesome. Well, I was actually going to school in the US in New York when this happened. So that was like a huge thing. And I mean, well, obviously before he died, he was like one of the biggest rappers. So all of us used to sing his music in high school. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
and when he died, it's like, us, his fans, we really, really felt it. And I think up to now, the fans, have not gotten closure because, it's like over 20 something years. And the murder still is unsolved. So I really applaud you for doing this movie. All right. So I want you to tell us about this about the actual storyline. Give us a little glimpse because I know persons are very curious right now. So just give us a little glimpse.
I mean, I think your point's very well taken. It's a disgrace and it's absolutely ridiculous that we are sitting here 20 plus years
Mm-hmm.
later, and Big's murder is not solved, Pac's murder is not solved. The reason for that, which is clearly explained in the movie, is that the police department in the city don't want them solved. And as with most things that are corrupt or things of that nature, this is due to money. The overall riding issue is the financial implications of solving these murders due to the responsibility of who and how they were involved. But the
Mm-hmm.
movie takes us on a really unique journey of this web of intricate lies, deception, and connective tissue from the police department, the marriage to death row, and all of these things that you'll have to watch the movie to find out
Yes, yes.
how it actually unfolds.
Yes, but I understand that you got his mom's blessing to do this movie, and
Yeah.
she's even in a part of it.
Yeah, so I mean that was a big part of wanting to humanize Christopher. I think we detach ourselves, like you said. You grow up whether you're in the U.S. or not, you're bouncing your head to Biggie, you're loving the music.
Mm-hmm.
He personally achieved his own version of being this iconic figure that you almost feel when certain human beings achieve that level of success like they're not real. And I felt that what's so significant is this is actually a son of a mother. This is actually a father to children. And
Mm-hmm.
I felt in having us invest care about this storyline, whether you know him or not, you have to understand we're all sons and daughters of mothers. And as a result of that, it was really important to not only have the blessing of Ms. Wallace, but to bring her into the fold. And that's why I asked her to play herself. And originally, she laughed me off the phone. She was like, nah, I'm not an actress. Have Angela Bassett do that. That's not my thing. But, the upshot of all of that was, when we finally built our phone friendship, which lasted for it was like 6 to 9 months, and I flew to New York City to sit with her, her and Wayne, they really did understand the gravity and significance of having her be in the film and play herself and what it meant in this particular type of movie. And yeah, as I said from the beginning, I'm deeply honored and proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with them in their fight for truth and justice.
Awesome. So, Brad, what do you really hope to achieve from this movie? I know that, well, there's the monetary side and that and all of that, but what do you really hope to achieve?
You know, actually, that's actually an excellent question from the perspective of anytime I make a movie, there would be lying as the filmmaker to say that there's not an ego or an I perspective. Like, I want you to like my movie. I want the movie to do well, or I need it to do well because I want to work again, or whatever these reasons are. Typically in the film business, we're only as good as our last film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that this movie is so much bigger than that for me. As we were just discussing a moment ago, it's unfathomable to me that there's any world that this type of injustice and tragedy has occurred. It's unfathomable to me. You talk about the fans not having peace, that Miss Wallace can live her life without peace and without closure. So to have taken on this responsibility, having raised on a movie like a JFK by Oliver Stone, I felt that Biggie's story was like a modern day JFK. And I made a movie prior called The Infiltrator with Bryan Cranston starring. It's about Robert Mazur. And one of the sad things I learned in talking to Bob was even though he had all of this impact from the government side of drug bust and on the cartels, he really looked at the world 20 years later and said, I barely have ever made a dent. I didn't make any change. And I think the thing here is do I believe this movie will make a change? Well, it's tough. And that was the point of mentioning The Infiltrator. Making change is tough, but it starts with each and every one of us looking at ourselves and taking a personal responsibility and a social responsibility on holding the institutions that are in place and the individuals within those institutions accountable, but also holding ourselves accountable. And if the movie impacts people individually, and hopefully the word spreads, we can recognize that the messaging is much bigger than just a film. And that's why I made it.
Definitely, definitely. Well, Brad, I know you've done lots of movies before. All right. I know you've worked with many, many great actors and so forth. But in this particular movie, what makes it different from all of your other movies?
I mean, surely subject matter, my love and affection for Big and Pac, and the deep influence that they had on me as an individual. My life was shaped by the music, by their words, by the power of music and how music demarcates time. It gives us a way to like time travel. You hear a track and you can automatically go back to the time and the place, whether it was being with people, falling in love, whatever it is. And the impact that those two men in particular had on shaping my life was huge. And if I could give back in any way, so there, even though my connection to it isn't exactly personal, it's personal from what I experienced. So I wanted to treat them as human beings. I wanted to hold them up and honor them. And as I said, I wanted to fight for an expose of truth and justice. And I've never had the opportunity in any of my work to do that. And as I said, I'm very proud to have been a part of this film for those reasons and the importance and gravitas of it.
Well, I'm absolutely loving this so far, all right? I'm loving it because remember, I said I watched the movie too, and I'm going to go watch it again, and I'm going to encourage everybody I know to go and watch this movie, all right? But I want to know something. Remember, let's backpedal a little bit, all right? Remember, there was lots of rivalry, like East Coast, West Coast rivalry, and, persons believed that persons from the Tupac camp had something to do with the murder of Biggie, So when you were doing this film, did you get any resistance from anyone? Did anyone say, hey, I believe I believe that you're gonna show some sort of bias, or I believe you're gonna show our side in a bad way? Did anybody come after you like that?
I had tons and tons of resistance. What
Wow.
actually really surprised me, the book had been on the market for about 10 to 12 years, so I didn't think of the bigger picture. I did make the choice because the book was on the shelf.
Yes.
To rely on the book, but to reinvestigate the whole case. I brought in Sergio Robledo, who is the lead detective for the Wallace civil case. And he was also Russ Poole's supervisor, the character that Johnny plays for a large part of Russ's tenure at the LAPD. But in reinvestigating the case and doing all this and starting the process, people came out of the woodworks. I have relationships people told me look, man, you got to understand the streets are going to rise up on this. People don't want the story to be told. There was another side of it from people I knew within the LAPD and the sheriff's office saying no, this is way darker, way deeper, and goes to the top. Don't do it. I saw all of that and had all of that, but it actually in a weird way fueled me to continue to keep moving forward on it, because the facts were that if people wanted to suppress it, even more reason we shouldn't.
Yes, exactly. And something, there's nobody who ever made a difference in this world without coming out of their comfort zone. So I applaud you, all right? I absolutely applaud you. All right.
I try so hard to remove the me from it. It's so not a me thing. I know that I'm at the center as the filmmaker who made the movie, but I also made it with tons of amazing people, amazing actors. And again, so proud to have worked with the Poole family, the Wallace family, the Shakur estate. All of that has been very, very positive from the perspective of their support.
All right. So the movie is already in theaters?
Yeah, so the movie's in theaters and it just was released on video on demand today for purchase and rental.
Awesome. So it's on Amazon Prime as well?
It's not streaming yet. It doesn't stream until, I believe, early fall.
Early fall. Okay, awesome.
If you want to purchase or rent, and I think it's iTunes, Amazon, whatever those things are, but not the streaming. so you have to buy or rent it.
All right. So it's on the digital platforms, and it's in all the movie theaters.
Yeah, that's it. And obviously during a global pandemic, theatrical is unique, but I was appreciative that they believed in the movie to push it out that way. But I think the hope and expectation is that just in the safest way, people will, purchase it.
All right, awesome. Well, I'm encouraging all of my listeners right now. All right, because I have listeners in Guyana, and then who are on the radio, and then I also have listeners who are coming through right now on Facebook. They're seeing us, all right, because we're because we're yeah, because we're streaming live on Facebook right now. So we have persons coming in from Paris, from Jamaica, from the USA, from from all over. All right, they're on Facebook right now. So I just want to encourage everybody, go and see City of Lies. All right, starring none other than the gorgeous Johnny Depp and the smooth, suave Forrest Whitaker. All right, ensure that you go see this movie. Go see the movie and order it and rent it. All right, City of Lies. So, Brad, is there anything else that you'd like to tell the audience before you go?
No, just thank you for checking out the movie. I hope you enjoy it, and I really appreciate my time with all of you today and this wonderful lady right here. She's got a really dope vibe.
Thank you so much, Brad. And Brad, I followed you on Instagram this morning. I followed you. So I'm looking for a follow back, okay?
I'm on it. Yeah, I'm really honored. No, it's cool. I like it. Let's keep in touch for sure.
Yes, and I'm encouraging
you gotta send me that little Biggie mix up.
Yes, I'm gonna do that. All right.
I need that. No, I really need that.
I'm gonna send it to you. Don't worry, because you know what? Like about 15 minutes before the interview started, we start jamming to some Biggie. All right. So I'm gonna send it to you. All right. And I'm encouraging persons right now to go and follow Brad, because Brad, I'm impressed with your work, man. I am absolutely impressed with your work. All right, so lots of love to you, Brad. Lots of love to you from myself and from the entire Girl Power family. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, it's a real honor and pleasure. Thank you so much,
Brad. I hope this is not going to be your last time on Girl Power.
No, I'm in. Let's do it.
All right.
I'm back. You tell me when I'm coming.
All right, lots of love to you. Take care.
You too. Thank you so much. All right.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Notorious. 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 Notorious.
Yo, check it. Call Lil C's. Tell him bring me some money to the hospital.
Notorious.
Tell that reporter to go pick up 10,000 from Dez and go take about like 20 G's from Gino.
Notorious.
Get this next door up out of here. He's showing all night. I can't sleep. And call that big butt nurse with the long hair to come suck my.
Bad boy, come on.
The doctor said I need about 3 weeks of recovery. But the nurses is loving me, saying the best part of the day is my half. Feeding me breakfast and giving me a sponge bath. Say I died dead in the streets. I'm getting high, getting on the beach, chilling, sitting on about $500,000. With all my the next 2 years, I should see about $1 billion. All for the love of got no love for the other side. Them tricks, any repercussions, Junior Mafia spit clip all the time. Big Papa kick the raw rhyme, raw flows, and that's how it goes.